Hey friends, I hope that you enjoy this 15-minute side body flow. We'll find lots of space and get some energy moving. So let's get going. If you're finding benefit from these classes, then please consider donating to help us keep yoga free and accessible on a really broad scale. There's quite an international community here. So if you are interested, then you can find the links up here and down in the description as well. Thank you. I'm at Hestia Retreat Center in Northern California. This is the last day of the California Emerge retreat. And it's been an incredible gathering. Hestia is a Greek goddess, which she is the goddess of the home and community. And we've really built an incredible community here. It's always amazing how strangers can come together and so quickly we become family. And this has been an epic group of humans. You know who you are. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful time with you. So thank you. So for all of you out there who weren't able to gather with us, I'm just going to show a little snippet of one of the flows that we did this morning because it's still in my body and I want to share it with you. So let's begin in child's pose. And as you come into child's pose, maybe taking a moment to think about the community in your life. How you create community. What you create community around. Maybe you're feeling full in that area, or maybe you're feeling like that's some room to grow. So maybe an intention of growing that community as we start our practice, or an intention of maybe showing some gratitude for the ones that you have. We definitely thrive together. We need one another. Breathing into the back body, breathing into the side body. In a world that kind of promotes this independence and individuality, which is very important, maybe we not lose that interconnectivity. So as we move today, maybe move that intention that you set around in the body, make it come alive, make it bigger, so you can take it off the mat. You reach your arms forward. Tuck the chin to the chest and think about scooping your tailbone just slightly. Claw your hands into the earth. And then from the back of the heart, begin to rise forward. Slowly, slowly. Shoulders come over the wrist. Soften the elbows. Sit bones come up as the heart opens. There's lots of little things. And then press into the hands as the hips go back to the heels. Child's pose. When you get there, scoop the tailbone. Claw the hands into the earth and pull yourself forward, like you're pulling your pubic bone towards your hands. And then bend the elbows when the shoulders come over the wrists. Heart reaches forward as the hips reach back. Be guided by the hips. Continue like this wave. Scoop and round forward. Maybe tuck your toes if they're not. And then arc and push back. See if you can find a little bit of resistance here. So as you come forward, hands and knees pull towards one another energetically. And as you move back, they push away. As if you're moving through molasses. And then make it even smaller. Like you're not coming forward and back as much. You're just feeling the activity, the energy pulling and pushing. And then next time you come forward, go ahead and arc the back, booty comes up, and then chest, chin comes down to the ground. Untuck your toes, Ashtangasana, and then shift the heart forward, roll the shoulders back. Push back. Hips move up and back, tuck the toes, downward facing dog.
Inhale, lift the heels, scoop the tailbone, puff up the back of the heart as you shift forward, and then bring the knees almost to the ground. Arc the back, booty comes up, and then push back, led by the hips. A few times like this. So it's the similar wave. Moving with your breath. Once more, scoop and round. And then push and lift. This time, pivot the heels over towards the right side. Bend the knees. The left sole of the foot comes all the way down to the ground. That's your anchor foot. You're on your right toes. Open the left top hip. Maybe come to the left fingertips and gaze underneath the armpit. And then pick up your right toes. Gently drip your right knee down to the ground and lift the left arm up, arc to the side. The back toes, left toes, point towards the back of the mat. Now get really long through the side body, reach through the left fingertips. And now stick your booty out, kind of bend at the hips, and we're gonna swoop towards the back of the mat. Left elbow comes to the knee, open up. Like a extended side angle prep here. Modification, maybe sink and lift with the breath. Now, bend the hips back. I don't know if you can actually bend your hips. Stick your booty out, and then we'll swoop towards the top of the mat. The right hand plants, the left foot anchors all the way down to the ground, and then open up into side plank. Lift the right toes towards the left knee. Really crunch the armpit towards the hip, the right armpit towards the hip, gaze down, left hand plants. We're gonna pivot the left heel all the way around. The right toes drip down, hips to heel. Right hand goes back. Look at your left foot. That's gonna become the anchor foot. We're gonna come into a tree pose or a floating tree. So right arm comes up, kind of pounce off the left foot. Your choice, tree pose or floating tree, hand to knee. You can keep the left leg bent here. You'll have more stability the more that you can get lots of point of contact with the left foot. Gaze towards the top of the mat, right hand reaches. The right foot is gonna find the top of the mat. Continue to reach as you pivot open. And then windmill the arms open, warrior two. We've went all the way around here. Stay here for a moment. Find your warrior two. Anchor into both feet. Externally rotate the front thigh and pull back on the right hip crease. Steady breath. Flip the front palm, lift the front heel to sink the hips and reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Downward facing dog. Steady breath. Inhale, wave forward. Exhale, bend to the knees, shift the hips over towards the right. This time the right foot is the anchor foot, left knee's bent. Gaze under the right armpit. Maybe the right arm begins to lift. Drip the left knee down halfway up the mat, and the right toes turn towards the back of the mat. Big side body stretch. Kind of crunch up left armpit to the left hip, almost like you could drip your head down to the mat. All right, bend the hips back, swoop towards the back of the mat. Left elbow, right elbow to the right knee, or on the inside of the thigh, whatever feels alive for you. Extended side angle variation. Maybe a little pulsing with the hips. And then bend the hips back, swoop towards the top of the mat. Left hand plants, lift the left foot to the right knee, and side plank variation. Crunch up left side body so you get really long on the right side. And then right hand plants. Keep the foot glued to the knee until you pivot the back heel, drop the foot down, hips to heels. Get your right foot is gonna be your new anchor. You want it kind of parallel. Left hand's coming down, and we're gonna come up into that tree pose, your variation. So when you're ready, inhale, press down through the right foot, tree pose or floating tree. Floating tree, think about external rotation with the hips, and then your choice how much you want to straighten the leg. Gaze can be up or down. Left arm reaches towards the top of the mat, gaze reaches, and then the foot, slow, steady, maybe. Back heel plants, press down to lift up. Warrior two. 3 rounds of breath. Find your stability and sturdiness here. See what it feels like to energetically draw the feet together. Feel lines of energy up the inner legs, all the way down from the arches to the groin. Flip the front palm, lift the front heel, sink the hips a little bit more, and reach back, reverse warrior. And exhale, heel drops, windmill down, downward facing dog. Lift the heels, inhale, wave it forward. Drip the knees down, hips move back, active child's pose. Scoop the tail around the back as you pull forward. When the shoulders come over the wrist, bend the elbows back, Ashtangasana, heart chin come down to the ground. Untuck the toes, slither the heart forward, low cobra. And find your way back to downward facing dog. Option came the way you come out, the way you came in. You can stick the booty up, slide the heart down and back. Downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna do this sequence again a little bit quicker. You know, or kind of know where we're going. Inhale, wave forward. Exhale, pivot the heels, the hips towards the right. Left foot is the anchor. Begin to open the heart as the right knee comes halfway up the mat and the left foot points towards the back of the mat. Spiral the heart open, maybe cactus the top arm a little bit, suction through the palm. And then the hips bend back as you swoop towards the back of the mat. Maybe the hand comes to the floor, the ankle here, press the arm into the leg back into the arm as you open up. Spiral the ribs around the spine. And then exhale, back to the top of the mat. The left foot kind of turns in as you maneuver. Plant the hand, right toes towards the left knee. Left hand plants. Keep the foot glued as you pivot the back heel, bend the legs, sink the hips down. Arm comes forward, anchor the left foot, press and lift your option with the leg. I like to bring the hand to the knee. If I'm doing the floating tree, it gives me some proprioception. Reach towards the top of the mat, gaze follows, and then the foot follows. So the foot follows the gaze. Pivot around, press down to lift up, warrior two. Flip the front palm, lift the front heel up and back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's move right into the other side. Inhale, scoop, lift, come forward. And exhale, pivot towards the left. Right foot's the anchor foot. Spiral open the ribs, plant the left knee down as the right toes move back. Cactus the top arm, open the heart. And then the hips bend back as you swoop towards the back of the mat. Plant the right hand, lift and open. And exhale, hips move back as you swoop towards the top of the mat. Left hand plants, left toes towards the knee. Your choice, how much you have it bent, find your stability. And then we pivot, right hand plants, pivot the heel, the toes touch down, everything's happening slow, hips to heels. Anchor the right foot, so we're preparing. Push and lift. Floating tree pose. Your choice. You can also play around with a variation, grabbing the toes with a strap, or maybe the foot on a good day. Moving towards the top of the mat. Slowly. Pivot around, back of the heel, back heel plants, push and lift. Flip the front palm, reach it back, reverse warrior, and exhale, wave down. Downward facing dog. One last little vinyasa here. Inhale, wave forward, scoop round. Drip the knees down. Hips guide you back to the heels. Scoop and round. Come forward. Elbows move back as the heart comes forward and down. Untuck the toes. Shift forward, low cobra. And then find your way back, downward facing dog, however you like to get there. Walk the toes towards the hands. Let's take a rag doll with a bit of a shake. Wag the tail. And find stillness. And then find a seat. We'll just take a few rounds of breath together. Feel the breath, maybe quite alive right now. Some prana, some energy moving through the body. Likely thanking you for that movement medicine. The body likes to be moved. Maybe you can hear the river. I'm not sure if you can or not, but we're over a beautiful, beautiful, special river right now. Sending you some love from it, regardless. And I'll leave you with our sacred chant from our retreat here. I'm going to let you in on our secret, and the way that it goes is Sukha, 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 Jai, Jai, Jai. Do it with me now. Sukha means sweetness. Jai, Jai, Jai is victory. Send it out. All right. Are we ready? Yes, I'm doing this on camera. My boyfriend is laughing at me behind the camera right now. Here we go. Sukha, 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 Jai, Jai, Jai. That is for you all. I love you. Thank you for spending this week with me, and happy to share this with the wider community from Hestia. Go love on your community.